Ladies and gentlemen, the Dean of Comedy, Mr. Greg Dean.
Welcome, everybody. We're going to do a bit of a Q&A. So, Gayla.
Okay, so our first question comes from D. Jones. It's a very good question. How do I stay present and still stick to my set?
Well, the answer to that, you already have because you've been through the level 1 class. The answer really is my rehearsal process. And we have to go a little bit into that because all day long we talk from pictures, sounds, and feelings. We take what's in our head, and the only information we get into our brain, into our minds, is sensory. That's it. All of our senses that's it. So it comes in, we store it, we recall it. That's what we do. We do it all day long with picture, sound, short version, picture, sounds, and feelings. Okay. And then that translates into body language, vocal tone, and words. And that's the way that we communicate with people all day long. It's also the way that you've been funny your entire life, telling stories and making people laugh. And then comes along, I've got to do a joke. And I've got to do the words of the joke, et cetera, et cetera. So people do the wrong kind of rehearsal, which we've talked about, which is saying the words over and 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 over until they get coded into what's called the Broca area of the brain, which is responsible for the speech as well as your internal dialogue, your self-talk. And and the only way then to retrieve that is to look down to the left, talk the words to yourself, say the words, talk the words, say the words, etc. That's the best. And so what I teach people is to take their routines, their jokes, turn them into scenes, get up and actually act out all the parts so that you can just see it as like a story that really happened. You can look at it. So that's the way that you can go through your show and keep it in order and everything else, because you can see the whole show if you want to, if you set it out properly, or you see whole routine in front of you, the whole thing, and talk to the audience. You can be interrupted. Doesn't matter. You want some nachos? No, thanks. Look where the pictures are. Pick it right back up where you were before. And you can also bring in the audience's information. That's what I call the relationship. The audience should have the way they're responding. Laughter or no laughter should come in. You should notice it. It should have an impact on you and help you then decide what you're going to do next. Do you continue with the same joke? Do you talk about it? Do you do crowd work? What do you do? So what I'm thinking is that you're still holding on to making sure your words are correct instead of attaching. I'm not taking away the words. The rehearsal process attaches them to a scene.
Right.
So you see the scene, and that prompts you to say the things you want to say. And I suspect that's what's going on, is that you're still too word oriented, which you weren't today on the open mic, but you were improvising, which means you were working from picture, sounds, and feelings.
All right, give him a round of applause.
Yes.
That's good information.